Anyways. Hi everyone, welcome to Roll to Forge. Pleasure to have you back, live studio audience. Today we're doing a special collaboration. Look all the way over here.
I'm not in your frame yet. How far do I have to go?
We are here with the host of Seg-Way Podcast.
That's us.
Charlie and Tyler. A couple of their friends as well, Cedric and Matt.
Hello.
And we will be playing a game of Dungeon World today. So this is 3 out of 4's first time playing a role-playing game, period. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds like an F on a
Exclamation.
Exclamation.
Sounds like an F on a test.
That's a C. That's a solid C. 75%.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
So yeah, we'll be playing Dungeon World. For those of you watching, if you are unfamiliar, Dungeon World is, in layman's terms, what I like to say D&D light. It's all the trope without all of the math. So figured we'd get a nice warm-up game in here for our folks who kind of like did a little pre-brief of what a role-playing game is. Excuse me.
Burger.
We're keeping that in. This is that burger. We ate before this. So let's sort of dive in. So in front of all of you, you'll see basic moves. Those are moves that all of you have access to. And on the back of that sheet are also special moves. Those are for more special circumstance things like camping, traveling, and dying. And then
Get at that.
yeah.
Just keep eating those burgers.
Yeah. And then so yeah, there's that. And then we're gonna go through character creation. So you're gonna make some choices throughout this character creation. Keep those to yourself because one of the steps of character creation is that we're going to introduce your characters.
Oh.
I'll remind you when we get to that step, but when you're introducing your characters, the person who's introducing is the only one talking. Everyone else is listening because that's going to be important for a step after. And I will be having a small conversation to figure out how we will build this setting of ours. So,
I know it's hard for you, Tyler.
Listening?
Yeah.
Oh.
so the first thing you're going to do
Shots fired!
is center of the table. You will see a number of class papers. You will pick one of them.
Do we just go, like, randomly?
Yeah?
I can't read.
Give them a debrief of kind of what each class does.
What's this?
It's the bard.
No.
The thief. I know that's you.
No, I don't.
I'm ready.
There we go.
The ranger.
They were in alphabetical order, if that mattered.
Well,
What'd you pick?
guy, no peeks.
You know.
No peeks.
You're not supposed to look.
No, you can. It doesn't matter.
I would recommend switching.
I'd recommend you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is different, man. Would someone group those up and pass the rest to me?
Rip them up?
Yes.
No.
No, group them up.
Rip them
No,
up.
I'm not gonna lie. I was between two and the other one you took, so
Oh,
I'm stuck with this
I like
one.
Rangers, dude.
Thank
Well, maybe
you.
you should branch out. No, you write what you know.
Alright, so now that all of you have classes in front of you, to the right center of the page,
I thought it said the beard. I was like, that's perfect. There's an E in beard, apparently.
you will see potentially a number of selections for race at the center right of your paper. Select one of those.
Where's that?
Where are they at?
Right there.
Oh, that's bottom. Oh, shit. That's this is perfect. I just exit.
Yep.
You said what?
You may only have one selection for some of you.
Oh.
You can also make, some of them have the option to make up a race and write in some stuff, but we are not doing Dungeon World Advanced today, so just basic.
So there's two options, and like, I've never done this, so we'll see what happens.
Cool. Perfect. If you've all made race selections, please raise your hand. Thank you. All right, next you will choose a name. At the top of the paper, there are a number of selects up there, but if you want to play Advanced Dungeon World, you can make up your own name.
Oh, so since we're not playing advanced, we have to pick one?
You can also make up one. It is fine.
Alright.
Where's it at?
At the very top of the paper, under the name.
Not your name.
That is the character's name you'll be
So
writing.
where's the...
All these little, they're all little prompts down here.
Where do you write it? Right here?
You would write it in this box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teacher's pet.
I just don't know what's going on, bro.
When you have chosen and written your name, raise your hand so I know you are done.
That's what you get for being clever.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Chuckles.
I don't like you.
Chuck.
Clever.
Charles.
I hate everybody.
Mother Chucker. Tony Bromo.
Shut. You're making it hard to concentrate.
You already wrote a J and an O.
Yeah. What is it? No.
Yeah, don't look at it.
Okay.
I won't spoil these.
Alright, so After you choose your name, you will choose a look, which is directly below your name. You'll circle one of each of those options.
Bitch face.
You could write that in if you want to. You might also want to circle one of the options as well.
Oh, so for each. Okay.
Yeah.
Long dick.
Bitch face long dick is quite a combination.
That's a name.
Can I put just like all Old Navy clothes?
What is life?
What is what?
Life?
Lithe is sort of like what you would imagine a Shaolin monk to be like. Not buff, but still muscly strong.
Like a snake.
Sure.
How would you describe weathered hides?
Weathered eyes or what?
Hides. It's hides.
Like tanned hides, like animal hides.
Oh
like that.
no.
Like leathers.
Well, how would you describe ceremonial garb?
Ceremonially garbed.
The dress robes from Harry Potter.
Yeah, kind of.
The holy symbol.
But I can write my own.
Worn or fancy here as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Timberland boots. Faded blue jeans.
Is fancy a noun?
Yeah. A
What's
descriptor.
What? Is
A
that?
fancy symbol.
You have a droplet of water.
Maybe it's
in
made
your
of like.
mustache. Yeah.
Maybe it's made of like gold or silver, some sort of precious metal, a jewel. Has a really intricate design.
What are eyes?
Hit me with that, yeah.
What are eyes? Bruh.
Bruh.
What is it? Yeah.
We?
No, what are eyes in French?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It starts with a Y.
Okay.
Sure.
Who can hit me with what today's date is?
The 7th.
Thank you.
It's
That was
the day after Tyler's birthday.
2020.
It's my father's birthday.
Is
Happy
it?
birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Charlie's
happy
dad.
birthday.
You'll not want
Happy
Is
to.
his dad named
Timothy.
what? His name
Chuck.
Chuck as well.
Timothy. Freezing.
Timothy.
Actually, he'd like that.
Freezing.
All right. After you select your look, this is where a little bit of the math part comes in. You'll see the 6 boxes that have like STR, DEX, INT in them. Just above those, in the small print, you'll see a section for numbers. Those are your stats. There are 6 of them. You get to apply 1 each to each one of those stats, each one of those ability scores. So you'll put the large number, the non-plus minus number, right next to the fully spelled out portion of the name, and then you will put the modifier, the plus minus symbol number, in the circle.
I'm gonna have to say what?
Dude, okay. So you put.
So, for
I got
instance, this one says 16
Oh,
plus
I didn't
2.
see those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put minus 8 by
16 plus 2.
Oh,
Is this a standard array?
This is a standard array. Yeah.
Um,
So for paladins, your charisma and your strength are probably good options.
So
to
do
make-
I get to choose? Or...
Yes, you get to choose. You don't have to write them in order. I'll let you know what's good for your classes.
Okay.
So for paladin, I would recommend strength, constitution, and charisma be your 3 highest. For bard, is that correct, Matt?
Yes.
For bard, I would do charisma and then probably dexterity. Constitution also helps decide your HP, but dexterity can be used for like bows and things, or if you think you're going to be more melee, you would use strength.
Okay.
For a druid, it's going to be wisdom is your highest one, and then you can kind of go wherever you want. Any of your animal shaped forms will use your stats.
for ranger, intelligence or wisdom is worse. Intelligence.
You would probably want dex and wisdom.
So big number here.
Dex and wisdom.
Yeah.
Big
those are your 2
number in the
highest.
circle, and little number here, or a big number, little number.
The second one you said.
Big
But-
number, little number.
Yeah.
In parentheses, little number, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I fucked up.
It's okay. You're just a deviant. It's fine.
Can we just start betraying Charlie now?
Okay, friends.
Actually, my friend Kat, she's all about betrayal. That is her thing.
It's not coming. Well, cool.
So if it's just a dash, you just would leave these empty.
Yeah, that essentially stands for 0. And no modifier.
Mod.
So is it better to put 0 or just leave it empty?
You have to know what it is. So 0 or the dash, whichever you prefer, but it has to have something in it.
Dash. How would you what would you define as constitution?
Your ability, it decides your health as a mechanic. It also decides your ability to take blows to the body. It determines your ability to withstand poisonous foods or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I should. I'm all in.
I'm all in.
You say long, thick leg?
Thick.
Oh, thick leg.
Both. All of
Whatever
it.
you like.
Yeah, it's basically a baby arm holding.
I rolled a 6 on my real life.
Heard. Bold choice.
Alright.
Okay,
That dude's
if
decked out.
everyone has stats, raise your hand and let me know. Sec. Alright, next you already figured out modifiers. You're going to set your maximum HP, so you'll see a heart symbol near the top center of the page. The left side will have your maximum, which is the big constitution number plus whatever your class's specific number is. So, for instance, the druid, it's 6 plus whatever your big constitution number is. So 6 plus 12.
So we go 6 and then 12?
No, it'd be 18 total on the left
Oh.
side. Yeah, add them together.
18 and then what's on the right side?
That's going to be where your current is. So you can write the same as your maximum, but you will be subtracting from there to mark your...
So I
as
shouldn't
you
do it
use
yet.
No, you can do it. Put 18 there. If
Okay.
it's in pencil, my dude. You're going to be erasing.
Did I do this?
Wait, am I going to be erasing all of this?
No. Just
Oh my.
this.
Just-
It's really important that you did it there.
So the left side of the heart is your top big number.
Yes.
And then the right is
The left side is your big number plus whatever your class's number is, which I believe for Paladin is 10. You should see tiny text.
D10.
You should see a tiny text under max health or under hit points. Excuse
I
me.
think I need a new sheet.
No, you're okay. You're fine.
Okay, it's 18.
It's okay. That's 18.
No, and then so what do I do on the right?
On the right, you're also going to write 18.
Okay.
And then you will subtract from that side when you lose hit points.
Oh, so this is just your starting point, and then this will be like...
It shows you what your cap is.
Okay.
Wait, so my high number and then on the left and on the right
It's the
side
same
is-
number right now, but like when you subtract it, so you know what the highest you can be.
So
So it'll be 10 plus this number. So 25 is your starting max health.
Damn, dude, you got all the health.
So he's a paladin.
Constitution.
He eats a lot of healthy stuff.
So he's got chicken breast and potatoes.
He runs,
25 is your
jogs.
total.
He's keeping the shape for God, you know.
Smart, man.
Paladin is authority. Not
He's
God.
got that row thing in his basement.
I don't have
What?
that.
Well, your health's 25, dude.
That's fine.
He ain't mad over here, like...
It's just where you put your.
Is that clear for you on health, Matt?
What,
Did you figure that out?
for the HP?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I got
Cool. You good? Cool. Everyone have it written in?
Yes.
it.
Sick. Alright, so that's your maximum HP. Next is now the fun bits. So at the bottom portion of the page, you'll see all of your starting moves for your class. These are moves that only apply to you. No one else can use these moves. Some of them are already marked in for you because we're starting at first level, which is level 1, for those of you who don't know what first level means. And then some of them you'll have to make some selections. So for the druid, you have to pick which born of the soil type you're from. That decides what animals you can take shape from.
Okay. Does that mean like with the circle of the moon? No.
Yeah, well, kind of. For the ranger, you'll get to decide things about your pet and what kind of stats it has. That's on the front.
Where?
Oh, man, I'm stuck.
Oh,
So
the
animal companion, you'll pick from one of these boxes, and then you'll
Okay.
circle somewhere on here some extra things.
Man. I don't know if I want to be from the forest or the mountains.
It just decides what animals you get to be.
Oh! Bet they all have cool animals.
So mine's already selected, right?
Most of them. You should have to pick things like what kind of... You have to fill in some blanks. You have to pick like what kind of quest you're on.
We don't have to
Alright.
select from bullet points. If there are bullet point options,
That's
we
what we're
just
doing.
Yeah.
we don't have to select from bullet points.
For
Any of
yours,
these
you have to pick bardic lore.
right there. But like any of these
Yeah.
are just options on
Yes,
the table.
correct,
Okay.
correct. Yes, very good. And whenever you feel like you have all of your options selected, this is a little bit of the homework phase, so you can do some reading-ish.
Oh, do I
You should probably figure out what most of those do.
Okay.
In the meantime, while they're doing this, thanks for coming out to watch this collaboration between us and Seg-Way. You can watch any of our other series, like our Band of Blades campaign or our Ironsworn campaign. One is a horror military undead fiasco, and the other is a gentle walk through the forest. Not really, we fight a basilisk and almost die. So,
So do I have to write the answers to these down?
no.
Just no?
You will,
Little typo right there.
Well, I guess you should decide on what your tell is for that position. You can write it like right underneath or something.
Okay.
It'll be a part of your character description. And then for yours, I'll get to tell you what vows you have to abstain for your quests. You don't pick your vows, I do.
Where does that go on here?
It should be the very bottom left one. You can see like honor or truth or something like that. Like one of them would be truth.
Yeah, honor, temperance.
Yeah. I get to tell you which one of those. You'll have to obey.
I'm gonna eat. Yeah, suck it, y'all. Y'all gonna be hungry?
What is burly versus huge in the animal?
I would say huge is something like a elephant, and I would say something burly is more like a gorilla. So like buff or large. And then raise your hand when you've made all of your selections. I'll tell you your vows when we come to your introduction. Cool. Sick. Thank you. Thank you.
Charlie, you're the most experienced, and you take. There you go.
Yeah,
Because
because I
some
pay
decisions.
attention to the decisions I'm making.
Yeah, I'm just floundering like a fish on a deck of a boat.
This is
flopping.
a safe space, everyone.
No, we're safe. We're chill. That's what we
This
like
is
each
people.
other.
You guys know. You listen. This is what we do.
We like each other.
Yeah, I freaking love them.
The next part you'll do at the very top right of the page, you'll see a section for alignment. You will select one of those.
Sorry, no.
That is one of the ways you get XP in this game. When you enact on your alignment within the fiction, you get an experience point.
I like how I can write it in. I want to talk about
Yeah. For a fun fact, the thief class doesn't have to tell anyone what their alignment is. It's one of their special abilities.
And that's none of us, right?
That is none of you. That's right.
So don't hold this up, though.
Do any fun facts that pertain to us?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I just always find that one interesting because it's like, yeah, like fictionally, I don't have to tell you shit. If you've made your alignment decision, raise your hand for me. 666, thank you. Next, on the reverse side of your paper, in the top left, you will see a section for gear. You're going to make some gear selections.
Some chilling kicks.
Icy.
Icy.
Icy kicks.
Icy kicks.
Where's the gear?
Down here? Yeah, top left, yeah.
So we don't have to, we're not rolling for anything.
No, you're not rolling. You're making selections.
Okay.
It'll say choose one, choose out of these, something to that effect.
All heavy though.
If you're curious on what a specific thing is or does, ask me and I will tell you.
What's it?
All of you should have an option for adventuring gear.
Mm-hmm.
That's has anyone seen the old cartoon Felix?
No.
Or I guess Mary Poppins is also. a
I
good
have
example.
seen Dora the Explorer for
I
that.
live with her.
Oh, sick.
She likes to clean at night. Her name's Lathan.
Aw.
That's my wife.
Aw. I
Good
had
shout.
fun.
So
adventuring
mine says
gear.
dungeon rations. So
Stuff you have to eat while you're out and about adventuring.
Am I
gotta
selecting something?
Well, you don't gotta eat.
Let's
You're
do
an
this real
elf.
quick.
I don't know.
I know.
You have to choose your weapon, and you have to choose between either getting adventuring gear or you get dungeon rations and a healing potion.
What's a shillelagh?
A shillelagh?
Yeah.
It's a it's like a club, like a cane club.
It's you can Is it It's magic, right?
Nope.
It can be.
No, just a physical shillelagh.
Is there a spell called that?
In D&D, yes.
They're saying D&D, dude. You gotta
I
check
know.
that at the door with the shoes.
That's what I know.
Welcome to all the new games you've been open to.
Huh. I don't know if I want staff.
But to go back, the adventuring gear is like a Mary Poppins bag for mundane items. So if you were ever at like a door and it was locked and you said, man, I really wish that I had a crowbar. It's now in your hand and you'll use a use of that. You get 5 uses of your adventuring gear.
massive thing in my pants and knock the door down.
Yeah.
That might be a halfling pipe leaf.
I'm gonna be laying some pipe.
Bang the door down.
Can I be in the pimp category?
Oh, that's out.
It's too much. Oh man. So what's the pipe leaf? Did you already say that?
I did not. Pipe leaf.
Paladin.
What?
Paladin.
What?
Why are you snooping?
Yeah.
Why are you stupid, dude?
Yeah. Stay on that
It's not like
side
I'm gonna
of the
betray
table.
everybody. It's fine.
Well, let's see if you're good or neutral.
Ranger
or
Chuck
chaotic.
over
You're
here.
chaotic. You're looking a little chaotic.
So,
Open
halfling
shit.
pipe leaf has 6 uses. When you
Yes.
share halfling pipe leaf with someone, expend 2 uses and take +1 forward to parlay with them. So it's kind of like smoking the peace pipe type thing.
I don't know. I'll just do adventuring gear. If any of you care for that. Does that look good?
Yep, yeah.
Cool.
We don't really care about coin, and we don't really care about bag weight.
Want any money?
Trying to get paid. I think Cedric's the one.
In a
getting all
long
the money.
campaign, we would, but this is what's known as a one-shot, which is going to be a self-contained session/campaign thing.
Do we need to fill in the max load?
No, not necessary.
Okay.
You can if you want to, if you want to be a completionist.
Do you want?
Drop it.
Cool. All right. So next is the introduction step. So, like I said off camera, when you are introducing, you are the only one speaking. You and me will have a conversation. The others of you must be listening because you'll also see on the right center of all of your papers, you'll see on the front side, you'll see a section for bonds. You have to fill in those bonds with the names of another character, with the name of another character here in the group. Okay?
Mm.
Do we have to choose a different character for each of the blanks? Or
You don't have to.
Okay.
Some moves say things like, so just for an example, where you would use your stats, each move will call for roll plus something. The roll means you roll 2d6, and the plus something is the stat or something. Some moves have roll plus bond, which means if you share 1 bond with a person, you get +1 to your roll. 2 bonds, +2. No bonds, 0. Okay? So you don't have to do everyone, but it'd be cool to get +1 everywhere. And I think there are 4 bonds-ish per person, so someone's going to get a double up.
So I have to know everyone's name.
Correct.
When do we know?
Yes, when you know.
This not talking and listening thing, this is gonna be rough. Alright, I'll try.
Alright, so Tyler, we were going to start with you.
Alright.
So, if you would tell me sort of all the information we filled in so far, you don't need to tell me your moves or stats. You just need to tell me like your name, your look, your alignment, all that stuff.
Not a problem.
What class did you pick?
I am the druid.
Okay. What race are you?
I am elf.
Cool. What is your name?
El-Kyrian. Yeah.
Did you look at the camera when you said
El-Kyrian.
that?
Irving.
Irving.
Yeah.
What is your look?
I have messy hair.
Okay.
I have wise eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have ceremonial garb as my clothes.
Cool.
I'm hoping... Never mind. I should say Slytherin, but...
Is there anything else you want to add in addition to those things? Just like a little accent of look?
I think he likes to wear a hood up.
Okay.
I like to wear a hood up.
Okay.
It makes him feel cool.
Very cool.
Should I mention my
What is your alignment?
good?
Good. Cool.
He's good.
And what is the requirement for experience for you under that?
What does that mean?
The little font underneath.
Help something or someone grow.
Cool. Yeah, so let's talk about being an elf druid. So, what are elves like in this world?
They're good. They're peaceful. They want to help people out. They
Mhm.
like to wear ceremonial garb instead of hides
Mm-hmm.
because they care about nature
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to kill animals.
Mm-hmm.
They live in the mountains
Mm-hmm.
because the mountains are nice too. They can see the stars from the mountaintops.
That's where your elf
Yeah.
people are from, the mountains?
Yeah.
Are all elf people from the mountains?
Well, my closest friends are.
Okay.
Some people would call them towering mountains.
Sure.
It's kind of our thing. There are some forest elves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And should I tell my tell or no?
Yeah, what is your tell?
I have feline eyes.
Feline eyes.
Yeah.
Cool.
They are green when I'm happy, purple when I'm a little curious, and yellow when I'm hungry.
As long as you can remember that, dope. Cool. So let's see. Were you always a druid, or did something change you to make you one with the land?
I think I was always druid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even if I wasn't, I felt like I was inside.
So is it a tradition of your people, of elves, to be a druid, or is it something that like a select few get to do?
No, what we all do is we all plant a tree.
Okay.
And as soon as the tree sprouts the first fruit, we are officially inducted in.
So it's kind of like you have to take care of this bonsai tree, right?
Yes.
Sure.
How'd you know it's bonsai, man? This is a great director right here.
Okay.
Great.
So you plant a tree, you take care of it, and when it bears its first fruit, you are officially inducted into being a druid.
And then you're proven to be good because we don't need to eat, so therefore we give the fruit to the nearby people that need to eat.
So very community, people driven.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are these trees in a secret grove of any sort, or
no?
All out?
Yeah, we're very proud of our trees.
Sure.
It's an accomplishment for other people to see our trees, and once the fruit's gone, they know that they did their community service by giving it away.
Okay, very cool. And I assume there's trees for. Are there a lot of elves of where you live, or a few elves? Are there like I'm trying to get a gauge of like how many trees are planted.
Oh, okay. Well, it's many generations, so it's a whole forest of trees.
Sure.
But at this point in time, I would say there's probably about 17 of us.
Okay. Oh, so like a relatively intimate
Small,
group. Yeah. Intimate community. Which animal is your favorite and why?
Oh man, the owl.
Okay. Living in the mountains?
Yeah, because we really respect the... Yeah, what? There's no...
Sure, maybe.
Yeah,
We'll wiki it.
Yeah, wiki it. Yeah, the owls they're rare. That's why I like them so much, because they're rare, because apparently they're not in mountains. And they're night creatures, and we very much respect the night.
Okay, cool.
Mysterious.
Cool. What problem has brought you to leave your lands and venture into unknown territory?
The weather,
Mm-hmm.
it's not producing enough water,
Mm-hmm.
and the soil is getting very dry, therefore we're struggling with our trees, our bonsai trees growing.
Mm-hmm.
And people are coming. Are you showing me something? Oh, is that a mountain owl?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Yep, that's it. I call him Bernard.
Her.
Her?
Them?
Oh, I
Whatever.
thought you said her.
Mm-mm.
Bernarda. And we've noticed a couple of axe wounds in our trees. And thankfully, the trees are very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And they withstood the axe.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to get to the bottom of who is wielding these axes and hope that it starts raining again.
So you have a drought problem and you have a logging problem.
Yes.
Cool. All right, great. Thank you, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you have any bonds that you think relate to Alkyrian, make sure to put that. Matt, you will be next. So, would you tell me your class, please?
I am a bard.
Very cool. Race?
A human.
Very cool. What is your name?
Willem.
Willem. Does that name have a last name, perchance? Doesn't have to.
Not at the moment.
Great,
I don't
perfect.
think
Would you describe to me your look?
so. Thin body, knowing eyes, wild hair, and traveling clothes.
Ooh. Is there any sort of additional accent piece that you would like to add to those looks?
Maybe a ring of some upbringing significance.
Okay. Like a family ring, or maybe like a club ring or something.
Yeah,
like that?
yeah,
Like a university ring or something.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. What is your alignment?
I'm good.
Good. And what is the requirement for experience into that?
Perform your art to aid someone else.
Cool. All right, let's first talk about humans. What is human civilization like? And if anyone else is an elf or a human, we'll bring in the other elf and human to have that conversation, okay? So what does human civilization look like to you?
That That's a great question.
Think of like what period? Like let's think about technology level can't go much higher than like the invention of the first fire, like black powder, right?
Okay.
So like you can't go above that. But other than that, what does kind of the setting period piece kind of feel like to you, human-wise?
It's pretty dreary, pretty dreary and dirty.
Dreary and dirty.
It's a dreary, dirty world.
Very like what is it, like a Victorian steampunk type feel? Not like in the technology, but like in sort of that like, is there a class difference in society?
I feel like it's sort of feudal almost, just like very muddy, streets, just gray, rainy, wet.
Sure. So you live in like the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
You don't have like nothing but shacks. Cool.
Yeah. Very, very shack oriented.
Okay. Anything else about humans that you like? Your specific population or state of being human? Is it like a large community, a small community?
I'd say it's medium sized. Not a metropolis, but a township. Like
as a stationary place. There's no like nomadic.
No,
sense?
I don't think so. A little medium sized settlement.
What would be your greatest export?
I think beaver pelts.
Okay, cool. Great. So you live in some sort of like marshy, feudal type area, something to that effect? Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's talk about what it means to
fucking children.
Hey, I'm here to just provide the innocence. Okay, so for being a bard, who trained you and taught you the arts you know?
I had an uncle that I was sort of bequeathed to upon my parents' death.
Okay, so your parents are dead.
Yes. And he, I don't know if it's traditional within the history of barddom, but he sort of took me on as, I guess you could say, an apprentice in the craft. Sure.
What is your sort of bardic art, if you will? Is it poetry? Is it singing? Is it sculpting?
I'd say storytelling, like just oral storytelling.
Absolutely.
I'm hitting as much as I can to get the giggles out.
Sure. Storytelling. Is your uncle still alive?
Funny enough, he disappeared.
Okay, disappeared uncle. Cool. Let's see. Why do you travel so much, and would you like to settle down or no? Or I guess here's the better question: are you a traveling bard? Do you stay within your community? Mostly, but in the trope, bards usually search for glory and fame and tell better stories by experiencing those things.
Yes, no, I'd say that's accurate. I think I semi-regularly return to the settlement just to sort of either decompress or gain connections or supplies to go out where I'm going to go to next. But I don't think I have a desire to stop traveling. No.
Okay, cool. Where are you running from?
Debts.
Okay.
Serious debts. I've cooked some books to get where I have gotten. So.
Are all the debts belonging to you, or do some belong to your uncle?
No, I actually have paid off any that remained from post his disappearance. And I sort of swore to myself that I wouldn't continue in the family tradition, but I have slid even further, per se, than he did in his lifetime, or if he is still alive, so to speak.
Sure, perfect. All right, well, that is what I need from you for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then if you would spell your name for everyone at the table.
Willem, Willem, as in Willem Dafoe.
I put Elam.
E-M.
I put Am.
I put
It's Dutch.
Perfect. All right. Cedric, what is your class?
The paladin.
Perfect. Race?
I am a human.
Perfect. What is your name?
Darkness Lampshadian.
Darkness Lampshadian. I'm into it. Talk to me about your look.
thicker guy with very kind brown eyes, styled hair.
Heard.
And I like silver.
Okay. Anything else specific you want to mention about your character's look?
Tall. Very tall.
Cool. Specifically,
dark,
tall.
Dark,
don't fuck around.
Dark complexion.
Is it you?
It's almost me.
It's okay.
That's all right. Yeah.
We gotta listen.
I'm a little lighter.
Heard. Perfect. What is your alignment?
I am good.
Okay. And what is your requirements for experience?
Endanger yourself to protect someone weaker than you.
Cool. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's start talking about. So, as being human, do you agree or disagree with any of the things that Matt said about humans? Do you feel like where you are from is different? Do you think that society overall is represented by what he said? Do you have a different image?
It's we don't really have streets.
Okay.
But we do have darker, gloomier days. But more of our time is spent with it's the sun. And our community is medium sized. It's not a metropolis.
Sure.
And we do have the tendency to stay up throughout the night. We don't sleep very much during the night.
As a paladin specifically, or human?
As a human.
Okay. Are you from the same place?
We're pretty close.
Okay, so you're like one town over.
We're separated by water.
Okay, so there's like a tributary or some sort of river in between? Sure, absolutely. What would be your greatest export in your human civilization?
Our greatest export is probably not beaver. Like rubies.
Okay, so like precious gems, rubies specifically.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. Sick. Let's talk about what it means to be a paladin. So, what I need to know from you, I know I didn't need to know everyone else's moves, but for you, what is your quest? You're supposed to pick one. I see that you filled in all of them. You only need to pick one.
Oh, wow. As far as like where I filled in the blank?
Yeah.
I'll go with my first one, which is to slay fear.
Okay.
Which is a great blight on the land.
Awesome. Quest, slay fear. So, let's say maybe human society lives in the fear of some sort of. What do you say is bringing this fear? Is it a person, a thing, a place?
People have been disappearing, and we're afraid of the unknown, like what's happening in our city.
Do you have any suspect as to what that something is?
We think it's like an unforeseen spirit or like a cult.
Okay.
That may be near, but we can't find them.
So something more mystical.
Yeah,
than...
mystical.
Okay. Disappearances. Cool. Let me bring up the paladin thing here real quick. Paladin. Beep, beep, beep. What were the 2 boons you selected? They should be right under your quest.
My boom boom room.
Yeah.
The unwavering sense of direction to water.
Okay.
And invulnerability to spells.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. How about a specific spell for me? A specific type of spell.
It takes away my ability to communicate.
So anything that silences you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Noted. Now, let's see. If we're going to make your vow truth, you are forbidden to lie. So if you just want to circle that on your paper.
What is that?
It should be right below the boons.
Oh.
So, as a paladin, are you a part of any particular order of paladins? Do you swear an oath to someone, to something, to an idea?
Do I have to?
You don't have to.
We are.
I guess what I'm asking is how do you become a paladin versus just being a sheriff, right?
We want to, encourage everyone to be themselves and do the right things in our community, and to not look down upon people that may not agree with you.
So you're kind of the most declarative of that statement. You being a paladin, if there was like maybe a sheriff in town who's like kind of weeble wobbly on those morals, you're like the guy that like, these are our morals, this is what I stand for, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Is there something in particular in your past that drives you to fight the good fight? Is there anything that you're looking to atone for?
Not that
It's okay.
My grandfather
Okay.
Was injured in battle,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that, he wasn't able to go out and do all the things that he could do prior to that, as far as take care of his family and the community,
Okay.
and get the precious gems and the rubies and lead us to them.
Okay.
So I want to figure out, where these injuries came from and protect the community.
So the injuries to your grandfather is recent?
It was probably about 20 years ago.
Okay.
Well, not recent. I was a child.
Okay. What was your first job, and why do you keep doing what you do?
I was a fisherman.
Okay. When I say first job, I mean first job as a paladin.
Okay.
Yeah.
To write the rules.
Okay.
When it is dark. So when the sun goes down, the after hours rules was my first job.
So you
the do's and the don'ts.
Okay.
What you should be doing when there's you're under the moonlight.
So you're like nighttime patrol,
yeah.
Essentially. Cool. Perfect. And then if you would spell your name for everyone, if they wanted to include you in the bonds.
Well, darkness.
Yeah. Gosh, just making sure.
Lamp Shadian, so LAMP, then SHADIAN.
Great, perfect. Love it.
Phonetically.
Hey, you can never be sure. Some people get crazy. Cool. Thank you very much, Cedric.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Charlie, what class did you pick?
The Ranger.
Cool. Race?
Human.
Cool. What is your name?
Jonah Strongheart.
Jonah Strongheart. What do you look like?
Wild body.
Mm-hmm.
Sharp eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Wild hair.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a traveling cloak.
Anything specific you would like to tell me about?
Yes. He has tattoos of every animal he's killed.
Okay.
Not like just like a symbol of
trophy tattoos.
Yeah.
Sure. Got it. What is your alignment?
Chaotic.
And what is the experience requirement?
Free someone from their literal or figurative bonds.
Okay. All right, let's first talk about human. Do you agree with the things that Matt and Cedric said about human things?
I feel like they're from like more like a Minnesota,
Sure.
Twin City kind of city.
Okay. Would you say that's accurate? Is that an accurate feel for what you proclaimed to me?
I would say more Pacific Northwest, like you indicated. So
Sure.
about 1,000 miles westward.
Sure. But they're from somewhere different, is what you're trying to explain.
Yeah.
You're from somewhere else.
I kind of have more of a rural, less city-ish, more small community kind of setting in like a plains.
Okay.
That butt up against woodland.
So like a woodland dust bowl, like Kansas type thing? Sure. Hey, it's fantasy. Anything can happen. Topography doesn't mean shit. Anything else? What's your so rangers are usually known as kind of the outcast of their civilization for whatever reason. Are you an outcast from your particular community?
I think rangers in this situation are more of they make sure not pests, but like animals don't come toward the village.
Are you doing it to protect the humans, or are you doing it to protect the animals?
Both. Like, to make sure...
Balance is kept?
Yeah, it's a balance. Sure. Yeah. I do have a bear.
Perfect. Oh yeah, would you tell me your bear... Well, give me 1 second. Okay. Bear. What is your bear's stats?
His stats are ferocity plus 3.
Okay.
Cunning +1.
Mm-hmm.
Instinct +2.
Okay.
And 1 armor.
+2. And then armor 1?
Yep.
Okay. And then what were the words you picked for ferocity, cunning, and instinct?
For ferocity, calm, camouflage, and ferocious.
Okay.
And for cunning, it was scout.
Okay.
And for instinct, I didn't pick 2. I will in just 1 second.
Sure. It's important to keep those things in mind when you use the command move when you enact with your animal friend, which is at the bottom right of your particular paper. And also goes into the second page, I believe. Okay. So the instincts are...
savage and flighty.
So, like this particular bear's personality is very fight or flight. Like, if I can do it, I fight. If I can't, I'm no help.
Yeah, and that's okay. I want him to live.
Okay, great. Does your bear have a name?
Drogo.
Darogo or Drogo?
Drogo. Yeah, D-R-O.
Okay. Keep balance between people and animals. If any of you writes a bond for the bear, I'm gonna poop. So, ranger questions. What monsters live around here, and why do you try to avoid it?
Monsters?
Yeah.
Well, they're the devils that live in the woods that you don't want to encounter.
Any specific characteristics to these devils?
Horns.
Okay.
Large. 7 or 8 feet tall.
Okay.
So you can hear them coming.
Sure. Or can you?
Not vibrant in color. So their color is kind of dull.
Okay, so like if they were red, it'd be like a very like dull crimson color.
Yeah.
Okay.
The devils. That's what I can think of.
Great. Perfect. Let's see. What's the most important thing about this particular forest that's next to your settlement and that needs to be protected at all costs?
Well, this forest grows the golden apples.
Golden apples, sure.
That can heal.
Sort of like miracle golden apples.
Yeah. Broken foot, golden apple.
Alright.
AIDS, golden apple.
So you would say then your community is, aside from like this devil danger and animals, is a relatively healthy community. Does the community use the apples?
Oh, yeah. Well, you really shouldn't unless you really have to. But friend of a friend, you gotta, so like it happens.
So, but it's something that's monitored.
Yeah.
Is there a particular growing season? Is there a particular amount that makes these a little bit rarer, or are they in abundance?
They're only in this forest, but it's like a little orchard.
Okay.
Small little orchard.
Okay. Cool. 66666. Nice. Where did you first meet your animal companion?
When I turned 10, he was given to me as a cub.
Okay.
It's a family thing. We all have bears.
Okay. Very cool. Where's your family live?
We live in the Plains village.
Okay. And how many in your family?
Father, mother, 3 brothers. Grandparents live next door.
Okay, so very like people. It sounds like generations wise, not a lot of people leave this space.
Yeah.
Normally. What would be a reason that you would be leaving this space?
I mean, I heard that there's a drought.
Okay, cool. Tie it in. That's perfect. So what I'm imagining topography wise is that maybe you're on probably the east side of a lake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this pooled set of water. And then you two are split by the river that comes from. And the rainwater from the mountains just at the base of that is what filters into this lake. So it's all very close sectional here. I don't imagine you have to travel very far to meet each other. Okay, cool. Perfect. I think that's mostly everything I need from you. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Welcome.
And then would you spell your name for everyone just to make sure that they have it?
My name is Jonah. Strongheart. STRONG.
Yes.
CRT. And Drogo is DROGO.
Great. Okay. Bonded with Drogo.
We don't need the bears.
You
Can I
could
talk now?
Yes.
I've been waiting to talk. I don't know, maybe sad.
That's why I'm released. So I'm going to take 15 minutes to kind of craft something together.
Okay.
In the meantime, if you two want to talk about Seg-Way Podcast for a little bit to the folks at home.
For 15 minutes?
Yeah, figure it out.
Oh, jeez.
Should we do a mini episode?
Talk with the friends.
Alright, so
Here's the other thing. Talk about your characters too. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's an important step before we do that.
Yeah.
Talk about who you're bonded with and see if you agree about those sorts of bonds. Some of them.
okay.
What's important to know about playing in this game is that while you don't have to like each other, you do have to work together. You are co-workers at work, so it's important that we don't get into a space where I hate you, you're a poopy butt, I don't want to play with your character, right? That's not gonna fly here.
I do have 0 charisma.
So Tyler, same direction if you want to start with your bonds.
Yeah, so William. It's still William or is it Willem? Willem. The spirits spoke to me of a great danger that follows you, and I'm assuming it's your dad's. That's all I know. That's all I know. Darkness Lampshadian. What's up, bro? I showed you the secret right of my land. So even though you do not have the ability, you have the ability. Even though we have not granted you the access to plant your own tree, you have seen how we plant our trees. You were there for the planting of the tree. And Jonah Strongheart, you've tasted my blood, and I tasted yours, and we were bound by it. It was sweet, nectarinish, and a little acidic. Those are my bonds.
Okay. Cool.
Willem.
This is not my first adventure with Jonah Strongheart. We must have met in the middle of our topographic expanse sometime previous.
How did you meet?
I think he got me out of a jam. I'm not sure I'm at liberty to say much more.
Well, you're gonna have to, because you have to keep it hidden from us.
Okay. Fair enough.
No secrets here.
Fair enough. He allowed me to escape a city that was trying to hang me.
Is that something you agree with?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Hell yeah, I did.
I sang stories of Darkness Lampshadian long before I ever met them in person.
That sounds right. It's called the Red Ruby. Kind of experimental.
Elcurian is often the butt of my jokes.
Ooh. I can tell you.
Canon.
I am writing a ballad about the adventures of Jonah Strongheart, probably in repayment of debt, or not monetary debt, but the debt of you saving me.
I see.
Elcurian trusted me with a secret, which may be why I'm trying to make light of him so much because I sense the gravity of the secret. Darkness Lampshadian does not trust me, and for good reason.
Aw. Is that true? Do you not trust him? You can think that, because not all these bonds are like very like one-directional perceptions. But you could be like, no, I totally trust it. He just doesn't know.
Does it have to do with like my bond, maybe?
Not necessarily. It could just be fictionally in response to his bond. Kind of like a between you two type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him, but can't trust him with the precious rubies.
That's fair.
Cedric's turn.
My bond with Jonah Strongheart. I believe he's very misguided, and he's maybe endangering himself. And Jonah is also he's a very brave soul, and I also feel like I have a lot to learn from him, even though he may be misguided. Alkirian, he is a companion in battle, and he has taught me many things. Not only about getting our livelihood, which is our precious metals and diamonds, but also leading us to water. And then Willem, I respect him, and one day, hopefully he will come to our community and embrace our beliefs and get him out of the dark.
My turn.
Are you done, bro?
I have a lot to say about Willem. I have guided Willem before, and they owe me for it.
Is that true? Do you feel that way?
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
You saved him from getting harmed.
I didn't. Also, I think Willem has no respect for nature, so I have no respect for them. I said something different.
I think we just respect nature in different ways.
Kyrie Irving.
El Kyrie.
Kyrie is a friend of nature, so I will be their friend as well. Darkness Lampshadian does not understand life in the wild, so I will teach them.
Sure.
You go on to like
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright, very cool. How do you all feel about those bonds? Do you have those kind of a mindset of what your group dynamic looks like?
I thought mine was a little judgy.
Little Judge Judy over there.
Rangers often are. So you guys want to take a few minutes and talk about Seg-Way Podcast? Will I do this
Seg-Way? Yeah, sure. Let's pitch
Seg-Way.
So the Seg-Way Podcast is a weekly podcast that comes out. We have 4 pillars of the month. First pillar is first week food. Second week, which is a local food place we go to and rate. And second week, cinema. Same idea with movies. Third week, VIP, which our friend Jeremy will be our third week VIP for April. I mean that. And our fourth week is paraformal. So don't forget to dress up. We do.
I wore a collared shirt a couple times.
We discuss paranormal conspiracy events, things that intrigue us.
Yep. So you know exactly what each episode's going to be about. So if you're down with the movie reviews, but you don't like the food reviews, then you know the second week of the month to listen. If you like the paranormal conspiracy talk, we talked about gray aliens.
Yeah.
We've talked about missing people in national forests. Talked about Bloody Mary. We talked about black-eyed kids.
Yeah.
That was cool. So if you like the more the conspiracy talk, that's the fourth week of the month. We also do like fun segments beforehand, short form things like things we've had up to here with. We'll tell you 10 things about certain things. Last month, which is now, but when you're watching this, it'll be last month, was March, is what I'm trying to say. It was Tsunami Preparedness Week. So we tell you 10 things about tsunamis.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we do like different food things. We try different yogurts and rank them in order. We tell personal stories. We tell embarrassing stories. It just depends on the episode. But the main pillars are the 4 Charlie mentioned. Whether it's the food review, trying to find best burger, movies, interviewing local artists, talent, musicians, writers, true crime journalists, so on. and then conspiracy talk.
Sometimes months have a fifth, and that is our perfect fifth.
Yes, and we'll either talk about music or we'll interview another local band who's pretty much just like a week 3 VIP. So that's the Seg-Way. It's terrible. I don't know why we did that. The Seg-Way Podcast. You can find us on Apple. You can find us on Instagram, Stitcher, Spotify, Facebook.
We have a blog we write.
Yeah, on WordPress.
Bi-weekly.
Yeah, we'd probably have to give you a link. I don't think. So the reason these guys are connected to the Seg-Way Podcast, if you've ever listened, or if you begin listening, and you hear either one of our first week foods or our second week cinemas, we use what's called the PAC scale to rate them. So we will rate a movie based on 5 categories, being presentation, pacing, acting, cinematography, and dialogue, and we rate restaurants by it's not presentation, it's plot. Sorry, cinematography.
Hey, I can't rattle them off at all. So
yeah. So sorry, for films it's plot and pacing. Presentation is with food. So for food, it's presentation, portion size, attentiveness for the servers, cost, and deliciousness. So the way that's broken down is a voiceover by this low, sultry gentleman right here.
Hello.
That.
Yeah.
You hear that.
Say one of them.
Deliciousness.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. So you don't hear him the second half of the month, but he's still there. He's still roaming, waiting for the next week. And Cedric, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you know that we do Meme Mondays for the most part, unless something more urgent is coming up. And he always sends me the best memes, so I always save them and I repost them on Meme Monday. And we've shouted him out a couple times on the podcast. So if you ever hear us say Cedric, this is the gentleman we're talking about here. Darkness, Lampshade.
Charlie with the jellyfish.
Oh my god.
He's also an avid listener, so we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's about 15 minutes.
Sure.
About 5.
Yeah, very good.
It was a quick summary. That's the podcast.
Yeah.
What's your guys' top 3 episodes?
Okay.
I really like Mount Shasta.
You like Mount Shasta?
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that one was fun. Apparently people really like our interview with Lauren Brabson.
Yeah, right?
Because we keep an eye on our stats. We use Podbean, and when I check the stats and I see which shows are being listened to, which episodes, hers is always in there, and we interviewed her in September.
Yeah.
Was
that our 3rd month? July, August, September.
Yeah, because we went Mo Turk, Adonis, and then her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. So that's a good one. I really like our last one. Maybe that's recency. Well, the last one of this moment, which would be first week food.
First week food. Oh boy.
Midway. Oh boy.
Oh
yeah.
Midway.
Yeah.
I think it's one of our funniest.
I think it's because we were very tired when we did it.
Yeah, we were a little slap happy.
It was good though. It came out good.
Matt, what's your favorite episode?
Yeah.
Well, gonna put me on the spot?
You put us.
Yeah.
I like the.
I haven't listened to any of that shit. I haven't even gotten paid yet.
I like the. I like the Uncut Gems episode.
Oh, that's the first episode we disagreed on.
It was good.
It resulted in a nice dialogue, and I haven't listened to all of it yet, but the 50% or 60% I've heard of the Renner episode is quite interesting.
That's a very good
one. Good one. James Renner's, you should check him out as well. We won't plug because this isn't about him, but if you know what I'm saying, James Renner, check him out because he's really good at telling a story. Really good true crime journalist and author.
I like the one with my very good friend Alex Chapek.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
The Fisher's Pub.
Oh, Fisher's. Well, I mean,
the episode itself isn't great, but when you roast them,
yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah. And I drive past it all the time, so it gives me jealous.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, if I'm trying to get to Akron, I'm taking Scenic Way. Yeah, I'll drive past Fisher's.
I want them to hear that episode.
Well, you should cut it and post it and send it to them. Tag them in it.
I should do that.
The video exists. I can send it to you if you want.
You should send me that.
Okay. All right. I got caught off guard. I was walking alone with Matt at night, and I didn't know he hated my take on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when I said Sharon Stone could have been cut out of the film.
What?
And I was verbally assaulted, unbeknownst to me, that he was stewing for weeks about my take on it.
He was.
And I still haven't recovered.
I mean, yeah, no, it's
you were wrong.
People have opinions. Sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're
what you say
right in their own ways. And especially because her name is Sharon Tate. Yeah, Sharon Stone's the.
Oh. Well, see, I couldn't even. You didn't even
catch that
because you don't. Because she could have been cut out.
Whoa! I don't agree.
Oh, thematic resonance.
Can you see them? No, you can't see the microphones.
No,
you can say what we use, but
we use. I mean, we can say it anyway. For right now. We're double recording. We're using our Snowball microphones. I'm not sure how well I'm picking up at all, but.
Oh my god, that was odd. Like took an edible or something. If you have radon in here, say call this gentleman.
Well, that's our spiel. I don't know.
All right,
I'm very happy the 49ers lost. Shout out to
Delaney.
Yeah, I know she wasn't referencing them, but I'm very pleased that they lost the Super Bowl.
All right.
No sports are associated with this podcast.
Zero.
But if they were, it definitely would not be the 49ers.
Tyler and I, we met in college, and we did improv together. It's kind of how. That's not how it started, but that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
And then this grew from, I don't know, Tyler called me and said, hey, let's do this.
It's probably a text.
All right, great.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. So, let's sort of, if anyone needs to, so we're going to take a short break right here to get some water things, and we'll dive into the session. So, thank you very much. We'll be back soon. So, if anyone wants to grab any